Hi crafters, this is Crafty Savvy and I'm back today to share a couple of projects that I've been working on. So this is a vintage inspired sort of lace pages that I've made. I don't know if I can really call it a journal. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but I've never even made a journal or a book before with rings on it. And I can't particularly say that I care for it, but they're on here nonetheless. And because these pages are so thick and full with lace trims and such, it seemed to be the best way that I could close up the book. And as you can see, it's still quite full. So this is the first one that I made. And I really love it. So the base of it was actually, I used file folders to make a file folder style page. So each page has a tab. So there's one at the top here, then there's a middle page, and then the third page, the tab is down here. So that's kind of the base for my pages. And so I'll just show you the outside first. I used chipboard covers, and then I just layered up a whole bunch of different vintage laces that I had. This is some doilies that I layered up, and a mother of pearl. It was an earring there that I got from Susan. And then I showed you the rings there, and on the side is a little tassel that I made with some more vintage laces, so they could be taken off and used inside or just left there. I really love it. And then that's the back. The back just has a doily on it with some vintage trim. Okay, so we'll go inside. So the front cover I just left plain. It's just got lace on it. And on the first page, so this is where the tab is at the top. I used one of my little envelope, I think I had a video on this showing how I made these little gatefold cards. And so you just open this up, and it opens up like this. And inside is a tag that I made. And this one has some lace trim on it, just a pocket here. And in the top I left a space open for a little tuck here. So there's just a little tag that I made out of more file folder. And then back here is just some ephemera that I had. I took some copies of some, somebody had written something down. They were in Italy and were traveling and wrote some, I guess, some notes as to where they would be going, and I found it in an old book and took copies of it, and it's really, really quite beautiful. So I put that in there, and that goes in there. And that's the first page. Also on here are some more vintage lace trims that I used. And then on this page, so the pages are really quite thick with stuff. I had so much fun layering up, and I really needed more practice at doing that, and this really gave me the opportunity to do that. So there's an old, oh, did I put it away? I have. So I used a bunch of things that I've shown you guys in the past from thrift stores, like, you know, napkins and table runners and things that I've purchased. So I use a lot of that stuff in here. So back there is actually a napkin, a cloth napkin. You can see the fringe right here for that. And I let some pieces hang off the edge. I kind of like that look. And then there's trim here, and then in behind this pocket is one of my book page pockets that I made. And so I just attached that there, and I layered up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doilies here. So it made a nice little stack, and put a vintage button on it. And then inside the pocket is just some ephemera, so there's a tag. And I believe these just came from Pinterest somewhere. I've had them so long I don't even remember where. And there's like a little envelope that I coffee stained, and then just another tag. And just pin those together to put in here. And there's no rhyme or reason, nothing really, it kind of all goes because it's vintage, but nothing really matches at the same time. So here's another vintage letter that I had. I made a copy of it, and I did copied it on some tissue paper, and then I Mod Podged it to the actual file folder page. So this one has the tab in the middle. And then on this page I put, this is a lace doily, and there's another doily here, and these are some of the pockets that I made out of some napkin and attached some trim. These came off of an old pillow, and I made a little pocket out of it. And then inside the pocket is just a tag that I made, some lace on the top. And then this is one of my matchbooks that I showed you guys a few videos back, and there's just some writing paper in there. And so I just attach all of this, put this back in here. I put half of the matchbook inside and left the front flap just kind of out like that. Thought it added just a little bit more interest. That's just a little piece of the, love the way that sounds, tissue paper. And then on this, the back of that page is, this is some old, it's some of the designs from a, I guess a sewing book or something, but it's vintage, and I like the red, so I kind of followed that. This is some old ephemera that I had glued on the back. And then inside there is just a piece of ephemera. I think we've seen those before. I just added a little half of a doily to it. And there's some more that I got off of Pinterest. Oops. And then there's just some fabrics that I layered up right here. And another piece of doily there. And that just goes in there. I just put some fabric on the tab there. And then on this page I just have, I made a little pocket and sewed around it out of, let's see. I got this paper and it came on a big roll. I'm not sure, I think AliExpress, but you could get sort of printed papers like this from there. So it came on a big roll, so I have quite a bit of it. So I made some pockets out of it. This is just some fabric that I layered up. And on the pocket I just put a doily and a really pretty image of a lady on there. And I just did some layering, more doily and a little bit of fringe, and sewed around it. And then inside that pocket is just some extra writing, some old graph paper. I just folded up with a little envelope, and that goes in there. And then there, excuse me, and there's more of that letter that I copied, and I just backed it on a file folder to make a tag. And that goes in there. I just think they are so pretty, these little books. I love them. I made a couple of them. I'll show you another one. Took a bit of time, but I had so much fun. And this is a napkin also that it's on, kind of looks kind of canvasy, like canvas material. So I just sewed around that and just layered it on. And then on this, the last page, I just used a little Tim Holtz, I'm not sure what you call those, like it's a little ring, and then I just attached a nameplate to it. It says Wish, and the tag is on the bottom. This is vintage lace. And inside this pocket there's a doily on there and a paper clip. And then this is an envelope that I just Mod Podged some paper to sewing, like a sewing pattern paper. It's late, I'm tired. But I wanted to get this done and show you guys what I've been up to. And just a tag that I made. And just some ephemera. And then this is another matchbook, a turquoise one, to kind of go with everything here. And there's paper inside there to write. So this goes here, like that. Oh, this is not going to go back the same way it came off, I'm sure. We'll just get rid of that. That always happens, right? Okay, we'll just put this back. There. And that's the last page. And then this is just the inside cover of the last page. It's the big doily that I had, and I wrapped it all the way around. And that's the back. So that's that one. Really love that one. And I made another one, and I didn't have enough rings that size. I had only 2. I had other rings, but they were silvered. It just didn't look right. And I used just some vintage lace to keep this one closed. This is probably temporary, but I also kind of like the way it looks. But I don't know how sturdy it'll be, so I'll just have to get more rings when I go out. So, and this one, same kind of thing. I just used lace on the front and layered up some doilies and put a vintage button on there. Don't know how I feel about it yet. I think it needs something, but I'll add it when I figure out what it is that needs to be there. So this is the inside, and there's some more of that paper that I used that I got on the roll, and then there's just some vintage ephemera and a tag that I made. And then on the first page, the tab is at the top. I just layered up some fabric for the tab. I Mod Podged some pattern tracing paper on there. There's some vintage book paper, some ephemera that I had. There's a little tag, a little ticket with some pieces of extra lace and a little pin on there. And then this is just, I dangled a little, oh, is that on the other side actually? This is was an earring that I dangled on the edge there, but you'll see that on the other page. And then this is a little, like a glassine brown bag. And I did sewing around the edges, some lace there and there. And then here's just some extra writing paper and the coffee stained papers. And a little tag that I made that you can flip up the fabrics. Just little pieces and bits and bobs that I had left over. So that goes there, and that all fits back inside there in the bag. Just like that. I love that page. And then on this side is, there's a little pin that I use with that earring. You can see. And then on this page, I layered up some more of that fabric napkin, and there's some music paper and some more of that vintage letter that I had. And there's a little graph paper, like a little cue card under there that I just layered up. And this is a pretty tag I made. That just goes in there. And then on this page, love this page, I made a little glassine bag, and I Mod Podged a napkin to it, you can see. And then I layered up some fabrics, and I put another little safety pin there and put a little bauble on there. And I love that way that looks. And I just had some lace here that I just let, it's longer than the pages, and I just attached it to the bottom. This is the middle tab. There's a doily under there, vintage doily, and a button. And then just inside I have some old, where did this come from? A sewing book of some sort. Just coffee stained it. And a tag that I made. Excuse me. And so those all go right into there. I left the back of the glassine bag open, as well as the inside. That just goes like that. Love that page. I say that about all the pages. It was a lot of fun to do. And then this is the back of that page. So on here I just put some music paper, and there's just a little bag here, and doily I glued down, and this is a tag with some extra writing paper. And then on the front of that bag I just made another matchbook for extra writing paper. So these matchbooks are all the ones that we made together in that one of my last videos. And I decided that I needed to start using up some of the stuff that I make. So, because sometimes I forget that I have it, and you know what that's like. You end up with so much stuff. But, so it's time to use it all up. And then on this page, I Mod Podged another, this is paper that I got from Dollar Tree. It's purposely for Mod Podging, and I just did it on another glassine bag, and it came out really cute. I love the purples and the pinks, and then I found this really pretty image, and I thought it went really well with it. So I just attached a piece of lace up there. There's another little piece here. I just made a little bow with a button on there. And I just used some paper that I coffee stained back there. And I made a little doily paper clip to put on there. And it kind of makes it look like she's wearing a frilly collar, which I liked. And I don't really remember how I had that now. There. Just like that. Oops, out of frame, I'm sorry. And then, so this is the bottom tab now. And then this is the last page, sorry. And I used some old ephemera that I had there. And there's some glue on there. There's glue everywhere. It's all over me. And up here is just a paper clip with some pieces of lace. And just untie this. And there's just like a little lace pocket down here that I made. Oh, I see why, because I probably had this glued down and now it's... Let's just fix that while we're here. It'll dry while I'm talking. There we go. Sorry. And so inside that pocket is just one of those tea pouches that we made quite some time ago. So that's just a little tea bag pouch, and I coffee stained it a little bit, and I decorated the front with some lace and some flowers. And there's the string, and then there's a little tag inside. And that actually fits inside of this little pocket that I made. This is a tag, a Hermelinda tag, as they call them. I just did some Mod Podging on some book paper and some lace up there, and when you open it up, I put some cue cards in here so that you can write or journal. And that's the back. And then this little tea bag pouch fits right inside there. And then the whole entire thing goes in here. And we can just tie it back up. Just like that. And then this is the last page. Did I lose this from somewhere? Probably in here. And this is the last page, is just some more of that paper. I attached a little envelope that I had. Put a doily on it and a little tag of this cute, adorable little baby. Just Mod Podged and some extra pieces of fabric that I had. And then that just goes right in there. And that's the back. So, those are my 2 projects that I've been working on. Hope you guys give it a try. Hope you like it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I hope you guys are all doing well. And we will talk to you really, really soon. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Bye.